Y'all ready? Yo, Fife, you ready?
Hey, what's going on, my peeps, my peoples, my followers, those who may have just found this by chance. Yes, I am bringing you the Hot Toys die-cast Iron Man Mark 46. And I'm going to give you a disclaimer right now that people who watch my videos know that I generally, on weekends, when I do my videos, I like to kick back and drink some beer because it's normally the time when I have to do these is at night when everybody's asleep. So, or going to sleep once my kids are in bed, so on and so forth. So I just want to let you guys know that I am drinking tonight, so if this review goes south, then you know why. So with beer in hand and everything else, you know, we're gonna kick start this, and hopefully I don't slur my speech too much to get points across. I think most people will be very happy with this figure. I definitely am. For me, this is the definitive Iron Man. Hot Toys Iron Man, anyway, for me. I don't foresee any other Iron Men that I'm going to be getting in the future. I have two Iron Man Mark 46s. I'm the type of person that when it comes to certain figures, especially when they're masked or helmeted or so on and so forth, I like having one that's helmeted, and I like having one that is the clean look, basically, you know, unmasked or unhelmeted. And this is one of those figures. Iron Man is one of them. I am not one of those Iron Man nuts, Hot Toys Iron Man nuts per se. No offense to the people that are, you know, I respect it, man. I have my vices too that I have to have all of, which is Freddy Krueger. So I'm a big horror guy. But so I'm not knocking you. Yeah, you know, if any of you get offended because I'm calling you nuts, you know, it's okay. Relax. We're not that fragile. But anyway, yeah, I did the same thing with Deadpool. Deadpool is one of those figures I had to have a figure that was masked and unmasked. And if you have the Dead Souls sculpt, then you are a very happy person. So yeah, I have to have one that's masked and unmasked. And no, I did not buy two of these. One I got through my regular route, and the other one I made a trade for to another seller in Hong Kong. I had to give up some figures I didn't want, but I did so because there was no way in hell that I was paying two, even at the general Hong Kong price, which still isn't too bad. There's no way that I was doing it. So anyway, hold on for a second. I'm going to take a sip of my beer. Yes, craft beer at its best. Anyway, I think Hot Toys did a great job overall. Once again, I think there are definitely some quality issues with this figure. I will get to that. Definitely some quality control issues. Those of us who have Iron Mans, I only have, you kind of already know what I'm talking about. I have a Mark 1, which I'll never sell unless maybe they make a die cast. But other than that, I have two 45s, which is for the same purpose like I mentioned, one to have a naked head sculpt and then one to have a helmeted. I'm also going to be selling both of those, so if anyone's interested, please feel free to comment on this video or hit me on Facebook if you're in the forums and whatnot, because I'll be selling both of them. And as far as I'm concerned, both are in mint condition, and I believe they are both 100% complete. I haven't boxed them up yet, but I tend to lose accessories every once in a while, but I usually find them. So hit me up, and you know, at some point I'm going to go through and make sure that I have what we need, make sure that everything's there. So yeah, but I'm not a huge collector of Iron Man, but I will be keeping these for quite some time. I'm definitely not buying the Homecoming. I don't like it. I think this Iron Man armor is fantastic. I think the 45 and the 46 are very, very reminiscent of the Iron Man in the comics, which I used to read for many, many years. You know, and I still read the trades. I've been a comic book geek since I was 9, which, like some of you who watch this, and many of you who watch my videos, you already know that. So we're going to get into it. I'll show you normally what I do. I'm not going to get into too many crazy poses, but I will talk about some quality issues up front first real quick. You know, if you're getting bored by some of this, just feel free to hit fast forward and get to some of the other segments of the video. whatever you're looking for, because I may jabber, but some people are going to want to hear this. Quality-wise, when I initially put the batteries in the body on the right, the left shoulder, I put it in the helmet worked. I put it in the left shoulder, or was it the right? I don't know. I think it was the right shoulder. That lit up. As you know, there are multiple points of lighting on this, which when lit up, it looks phenomenal. I will show you that. I will definitely show you the right with the chest lit up, because it is, I will tell you now, if you thought it was a pain in the ass lighting these figures up before, because of all the unscrewing and taking off the compartments so you can actually get to the switches. If you know, if you have if you're an extreme Iron Man fan, you definitely know what I'm talking about. If you're just a guy who's got 1 or 2 or 3 or even 4 Iron Man figures, you know what I'm talking about. If this is your first Iron Man figure, you will absolutely know what I'm talking about. So yeah, with all the lighting points that it has, you will be very angry going through. I can tell you right now, I will not be lighting this thing up probably much after this and after some photos that I take, because it is a pain in the ass. It is just too time consuming. It's just ridiculous. If you have a lot of time, then go for it. I mean, I'm not saying I'm going to 100% never do it again, but still, it'll be a while after I've taken some photos of this. It's just a pain, man, because you're taking off lighting in the arms, in the legs, in the back, in the shoulders, in the forearms. It is just nuts. So, you know, so heed that as a forewarning. But anyway, the figure on the right shoulder light didn't work. The chest would work. You know, those batteries go in the back, either 3, you put them in, and it like flickered, and then it started, and then it wouldn't turn back on, and then I literally would hit it with my finger, and the lights would come on again, and then they would stay on for a few seconds and literally turn back off again. Believe it or not, I just put the batteries back in again. I wasn't going to show you, I was just kind of going to verbalize all this to you, but I ended up putting them back in. I was like, you know what, let me show them the chest. The chests are probably the easiest batteries to put in, honestly. Because they go right in the back. It's a lot simpler, at least in my opinion anyway. So I put them in, and believe it or not, lo and behold, I flicked the switch. They actually turned on and they stayed on. So I don't know. I don't know what happened with that, but it worked. So now it's got me wondering if I should check out the right shoulder again to see if that works. But I noticed when I put in the batteries for the left shoulder, I'm sorry, the right shoulder is the one that worked, the left shoulder is the one that didn't. So when I put in the batteries for the left shoulder, they seemed the compartment wasn't as tight as the compartment was on the right shoulder. So I don't know if maybe they put in the wrong battery size, because in the figure on the left, when I put the batteries in, they barely fit. And yes, they were the right batteries. I wasn't drinking when I put them in. They are the right batteries. And they did not fit, per se, the best way. It was actually too tight. It did work. All the lights do work on the one on the left, the helmeted body. But they did not work. They weren't working too well on the right. So I'm almost wondering if they put a different battery compartment in there. So I might try the next size up and put 2 of them in and see if that works, because now it's got me curious. But as I said, yeah, there were some technical issues and some braking issues too, which when I get to that part of the body, I'll show you. But yeah, so they flickered, and then I put them in, and all of a sudden they work. On off, I tried it 4 or 5 times. I moved the arms, they stayed on. So I don't know what's up, but there's definitely something going on. There is some issue. I tried everything before. The second time around when it actually did work, and none of the movements were causing problems. I mean, who knows? It may have been user error on my part, which would be rare when it comes to putting these things together, but did not work. So for now, I was going to say that, that 1 out of 2 figures. Now I have 2, so I would hope that the ratio of saying 1 out of every 2 figures is going to be defective. That would be horrible. But again, I'm going to check out that left shoulder again and see if it turns on with bigger batteries, because the ones that are supposed to go in there, they seem loose and it was not working. So maybe if Hot Toys put a wrong compartment in, it almost seems like the batteries that would fit into the helmet are the ones that possibly fit in there. So I'm going to see what happens. I'm going to put it in and see if it works. Like I said, the one on the right, they seem too tight. Like if it wasn't for the compartment piece, the little smaller compartment piece, the screw cover that goes on it, they wouldn't, they wouldn't be, they wouldn't have stayed in the way they wouldn't be flat. They wouldn't be parallel to each other. They'd be off a little. But the left, they go in a little too easy. So I don't know. We're gonna see what happens. But anyway, I think I've blabbed on long enough. I'm trying to make this video as short as possible, but two different figures. It's going to make this a little easier, so I'll show you the front and back of the helmeted one. I'm not going to do that for the naked sculpt body, except for maybe turn around and show you the back of the head of Tony Stark. But that's about it. So let's zoom in and get to it and show you the detail on this head sculpt on the naked body. Not really naked, but you get it. Alright, and there's that head sculpt. Definitely the best Tony Stark head sculpt on the market right now. I originally thought maybe the 5.0 Supreme, the second version that came out, or third, I can't, it's hard to keep track sometimes, was better than this. I thought the head sculpt caught Downey Jr. from certain angles really well. I may try to show you that head sculpt at the end so you know what the hell I'm talking about. But after seeing this in hand and watching some scenes from Captain America: Civil War, it actually is really good. The only person that I think that could beat this head sculpt is probably K.A. Kim. I think she is probably one of the few people that could do this head sculpt and knock it out of the park even further. She is by far, some people who watch my videos and know me on the forums, they know that she is my favorite artist of all time, currently in this genre, in this market. The person who did this one was a person by, I hope I don't butcher their name too well, but the first initials are D.A., so I don't know if that's Da Hai Hye Kim. It's kind of interesting that the person who did this head sculpt is also last name Kim. But either way, J.C. Hong, of course, did the head paint. He's magnificent. I almost wonder what would happen if J.C. Hong did the head paint on the Civil War redo that I got from 1/6 Kit. And Kit Chen, you're the man. You do put out some great stuff. You're able to get some great vendors and put out some awesome stuff for us collectors. And at first, when I saw some shots of this figure, when it first came out, I still thought that head sculpt was better. But when you put both side to side, there are some angles in the film. When you look at that Kit Chen version, the Civil War version, people who have the head sculpt will know what I'm talking about. I'm too intoxicated to try and explain it further. Just go on the website and you'll see a similar head sculpt to this with similar hair. It's like the 5.0 Supreme version or something, but I feel like there was a 5.0 Supreme version before. But anyway, they recasted a head sculpt from the 45, I believe, and they did a repaint and they resculpted the hair on it. I thought that was way better when I looked at certain things. But when you look at this head sculpt and you look at that one, you definitely can tell the paint app, which is superior as far as paint app, and even in the sculpt. This sculpt is very, very good. Don't get me wrong. I think this is the best one. But I'd be curious to see what someone like K.A. Kim or J.C. Hong could do with that head sculpt from Kit Chen, from his site 1/6 Kit. And then maybe I'd love to compare the two. But for right now, this is definitely the best one. I think they very, very good likeness. 100%, certain angles. When I first opened it out of the box, I was upstairs in my kitchen. I didn't think it was spot on. I was like, but now that you have it, I'm telling you, I can't stress enough to people, make sure you display your figures in the right light. Don't use warm colors, please. It's like putting your figure under the color of urine. Do you want your figures to look like piss? No, you don't. You spend a lot of money on them. Put them in light that displays the details appropriately. And up in my kitchen, we have warm white lights, and I'm like, this does not look like Tony Stark. I mean, what the fuck is this? And I go downstairs and I put it under my light. I use natural daylight, emitting bulbs, LEDs, whatever you want to call it, and that brings out the appropriate light. This is what museums use. They learned this a long time ago. I learned this by sheer luck one day, just trying out LEDs, and I was like, wow, it's a notable difference. And those of us who have done this before, I mean, we've been in this hobby for long enough, we know what light will do the best. So anyway, good head sculpt, and I'll show you the up and down of this figure from the front and side, and if I'm not too drunk already, I'm going to try and remember what the issues were that I had with this figure, so I can illuminate some of you or enlighten some of you individuals. So yeah, let's move on and show you the body up and down from the front. Alright, so now that we're going to be a little bit aerial here and show you the body. So this is the battle damage chest plate that you get. Good detail as usual overall. So while I'm here, I'm going to show you, or not show you, but I'm going to tell you what I had. The left shoulder plate that goes over the right shoulder. See, this is when the drinking starts to compromise my intellectuality here. But anyway, or my speech thought progression. But anyway, yeah, the right shoulder, my left or your left or whatever damn version position you're in. There are magnets, of course, that keep that off. There are alternate ones that you can change, which I'll show you in the accessories at the end of this, or close to the end of this. But yeah, that sculpt right there, sculpt, see, drinking, the shoulder plate, you take that off and there's a little magnet that attaches it to the shoulder. Now, that came off. And I was like, okay, but actually, believe it or not, it wasn't this figure, it was actually this one. See, again, drinking. After I had my issues with this figure, I'm like, couldn't possibly have any issues with this one, right? Of course I did. So, but anyway, yeah, that shoulder, it came off, and the magnet was still stuck to the shoulder. And I was like, what the fuck, man? Like, really? And again, this is this figure, so maybe I'll keep it on this, so maybe I don't confuse you guys and confuse myself. So yeah, so this right little shoulder plate that comes off, and the magnet was still stuck to it. I had to stick the magnet with something a little bit thin. Don't use metal because you'll scratch it. I used a little plastic piece that came with the figure. It's like a little... I don't know what the hell you describe it, what the hell the technical name of it is, but it's pretty good when you need to separate plastic parts, it doesn't scratch. So I had to pop out the magnet and then stick it back in the shoulder plate, and or it's more like a neck plate. It kind of goes over your trapezius, so really maybe I should call it a trapezius plate. But anyway, grammar and semantics shouldn't really matter at this point. But yeah, I had to super glue that back in. So I'm like, all right, that's one issue. I can get over that. And that was the only issue that I had with this body, I believe. But anyway, yeah. So I had to glue that back on. So with this figure, and I'll tell you right now too, the chest plate, this was a similar issue on some of the Mark 45s. This chest plate, for some reason, the regular clean chest plate goes on the body, no problem, and as soon as you put this one on, it does not go on properly. It snaps off, it bounces back, it doesn't stay on. Once you get it there, leave it there. As you start posing the figure around too much and articulating it, it's going to pop off again, and it's going to piss you off. But it is what it is, guys. I don't know why that is. If maybe it's dumb luck this time that it's happening to me, or if it's happened to other folks, you know, I don't know. I'm sure when more people get this in hand, we'll find out if it's an issue. So anyway, keep scrolling down. As I said, multiple points of articulation. I can't even remember how many points there are. I want to say it's like, or not articulation, lighting, and articulation, of course, which you know I don't show you guys because it's just a pain in the ass for me, and I spend money on these figures or do trades, and I'm not going to be nuts. But anyway, yeah, the multiple lights, I can't remember how many off the top of my head, like I was saying. Maybe, I think there's 20 altogether, or 26. I might be exaggerating that. Maybe it's 15. I can't remember right now. But I could have sworn it was like in the 20s or something. But anyway, keep on going down. As you can see, very good detail on the body itself. This is definitely the body style that I like. I think they did a very good job on the little tweaks. It's not that much different. I mean, it's definitely different from the Mark 45, and you know, in certain areas. Don't ask me to try and tell you which those areas are right now because I'm drinking. So, but if you want to put a comment in and ask me, you know, or maybe I could do a video or put some shots up. I think I may have shots of this on my Instagram. I can't remember. You might be able to check there and look. But there are some folks who've already put up videos and shots of the comparison photos between this and the 45, so you can just go and do that and look at that there. So anyway, I forgot what I was going to say next. Yeah, I like it. For me, this is the Iron Man figure that I'm going to be keeping for quite some time. I don't know how long, until they come out with another one that I really like. I'm not a big Iron Man guy, like I said before, so this is going to be the one that I'm probably going to keep for a while. It's definitely just the little tweaks that they made. You know, it's nice. So I'll be keeping the 46, and I have my Mark 1, and that'll be it. And like I mentioned, I'm going to be selling my 2 Mark 45s. So if anybody's interested, let me know. But overall, I'm pretty happy. And again, I'll try to get back to you on whether or not the lighting issue was a problem or not. After I show you these guys front and back, this one per se, I'll light them up and show you what they look like all lit up, both the naked head sculpt and the other one. So let me rotate him around to the left side and give you a shot down, and we'll go from there. Alright, so here's our man from a left portrait view. And I think they do a pretty good job at making him look like Tony. I'm going to push him to the left a little bit so you can actually see the actual portrait of his face a little better. Mostly, I feel he looks like Tony Stark from all sides. I don't think there's that big of a difference. I think he definitely looks like Tony more from the left than I do from the very front. But trust me, I'm not saying this is a bad sculpt. Like I mentioned, it's the best out there right now. Again, they have someone like JC Hong doing the paintwork. It's very good, and the front view is also very, very good. It's almost right there. Almost perfect, but I mean, but some collectors are never as perfect. What's perfect to me is not going to be perfect to someone else, or so on and so forth. So we just need to get over it. But either way, I think they did a good job. It definitely looks like Downey from the left side and the right side portraits. I'll show you the other one as well. And I might as well give you a view of the down side from the figure itself as well. Very good detail, man. I'm telling you, Hot Toys does a phenomenal job. And being die cast, it's a nice solid figure. Feels expensive. Those of you who are pre-ordering this from Sideshow know what I'm talking about. And rotate him around to the back. And here's a shot from the back. Here's the back of his dome. And here are the flaps that go up. I already have them raised, so you can see that. And as I scroll down, paintwork very good, man. It's those little things about this figure that really make this figure pop. I love it. I swear, for me, it looks 10 times better than the Mark 45. This is my Ferrari Iron Man as far as I'm concerned. Very good. And I'll rotate over here anyway just to show you. That's the clean one on him over there. Just so I'm not having to do a full head to toe on him as well. But what I'll do for you too is also zoom up on his head right now, just to give you a shot of the head sculpt. And excuse me while I adjust the exposure on this, so you're not blinded. Very good. As far as I'm concerned, it's not that much different than the 45. When you have these things in the right light, I'm telling you, they look magnificent. If you're a collector, you know what I mean. You know, just show some love to your figures, display them the way they should be displayed, because it brings out the details, man. And that's why I do these videos in 4K, to show you what these figures really look like and the light that they're supposed to be in. If you put these figures in natural daylight, like sunlight, real sunlight is what I'm talking about, you know, you'll see that these amazing details come out. And the natural daylight LED bulbs, they don't necessarily the same kind of light that the sunlight emits, but you get very good detail. Sorry about that. Yeah, got a burping going on. I'm on beer number, I don't even remember anymore. But anyway, so yeah, really good sculpt. Just use good light, folks. And back to this guy. So anyway, I think I already did the up and down for you. So I'll rotate him around, show you the right portrait shot of him, and then back to the front, which the next front shots will show these guys all fully lit up. And you're welcome, because having to light the one on the left up is going to be a pain in the ass, because I got to take apart all the shoulder compartments and the friggin' forearm compartments, and oh my god, it's just going to be a pain in the friggin' ass. But anyway, you're welcome. So let's just get to it. See ya after the cutaway. Alright, and here he is from the right portrait. Again, very, very Robert Downey. Looks good. Looks very good. And I scroll down for you. I'll go over here, show you the blaster. A lot of folks don't like posing their Iron Man with their blasters for some reason. Some people think it takes away from the figure, makes it less realistic. I always liked it. It makes it more animated for me and gives it life. I'll definitely be utilizing these in some photos. So yeah. Man, this figure, it's awesome. I really like it. There's little tweaks in it, man. Really show off the detail and just the tremendous work that Hot Toys puts into this. You know, quality issues could definitely be better, but what are you going to do? And oh, the other quality issue I wanted to tell you about, the front plate that's on this guy. It happened on this body, but since I don't have him turned, I'm already behind the camera over here. This small piece right there below the chest plate that's removable. It swivels just like the other one. It comes out a little bit like the 45 and can move around. It broke on me without even barely touching it. It snapped off. So be careful when you're flexing this figure, because this one, it's not as durable, or I don't know, maybe it's just the glue that they used on mine. I don't know. But it came off pretty easy, and I had to super glue it back on, so it's great. Because if I ever do want to sell these figures to upgrade to another Iron Man, I have to, you know, I'm going to lose a little bit of money on that, because I have to, you know, disclose that, you know, this had to be super glued back on, so it may fall off again at some point. You'll have to re-glue it. But yeah, it came off. Again, it's the little piece right below the chest plate that comes off, roughly around the upper epigastric area below the sternum. So yeah, so this is the shot of him down, which I may have done already, I can't remember, because I'm so not drunk, but I'm getting there. So yeah, let me show you I'll swing these guys around to the front and show you both of them lit up. Haha. Alright, now I'm purposely underexposing these shots so you can see the light up features, because if I expose it the way I want to, show you everything, it kind of gets washed out. And also they're probably still not coming through as strong as they do in person. Like, I can tell you right now, they're still coming through a lot brighter. Even with all the light that I had on it in the previous shots, they come through strong and they look great. It's fantastic. And as you can see on the one on the right, oh, here's another disclaimer. You guys do know that between these cuts I'm drinking more beer, right? So, but anyway, I just wanted to let you guys know that. So yeah, the one on the right is the body that I told you had the problems with the lighting. It actually works now, so maybe that was just some issues with me. I don't know. Again, I wasn't drinking, so the batteries were where they were supposed to, but they would not stay lit. And now for some reason they are. That may change. I don't know. But again, I did have the quality issues like I was mentioning. So hopefully the ratio to quality issues, it really isn't 1 out of 2. Maybe perfect, and you know, we're close to it, and the other one was going to give you issues. But for now, it works, and I'll get back to you on the shoulder, like I mentioned before. But yeah, they look really good with the light up features, and I'll show you the one on the left, because I have all of them lit up, and oh my god, it's a pain, because I have to take off most of the compartments again just to turn them off. It's ridiculous. It really is. Hopefully Hot Toys figures out an easier way to do this, because then when you come close to having to change the batteries and you don't want them to leak, some people don't give a shit, but when you spend this kind of money, you probably want to take them out and replace them when it gets too old. So anyway, let me show you the one on the left from the side now. I'll show you those light up features, and feel free to count them all, because I sure as hell ain't going to do it for you. Again, I think it's in the 20s, so let me rotate over to this fine gentleman, and you can see the ones basically on the front, I'm hoping. And trust me when I tell you that they come through a lot brighter in person. These are nowhere near as bright as I am looking at them right now. I may up the exposure anyway, just to see if it makes a difference, but I was experimenting earlier, and yeah, you definitely, they don't come through as good. So, so I hope they are coming in good enough for you here. So I'm going to turn around to the right, and hopefully these come. There's a shot from the right. Again, I'm sorry if they're not coming through as bright as I would want them to, but you can see what I'm talking about. The one on the right side of the, like, in the middle of the tricep where the bicep meet on that, that's a lot brighter when you look at certain angles. Certain angles, it's not going to appear as much. But for posing purposes, you know, just keep cognizant of that when you're actually posing these figures in your details. If it's that one hand or that one arm, you want to be, that one light you want to be visible, you know. I think most of the ones on the legs are coming through, as you can see. Again, check my Instagram. I'm going to be taking some shots, and I'll hope the lighting will be able to come through a little bit better than it does in video. I'm not going to show you the back. Actually, no, I am going to show you the back. So we'll do that because there are some light up points on the back as well. Alright, here's the back. Again, I'm sorry if the light up points aren't coming through, but they are bright with the lights on. Trust me. I promise. So on the back you get the torso and the back of the shoulder blades, or the deltoids rather, and you get two on the lumbar region of the back on the sides. I'll show you the other side. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to show you the other side because it's the same thing basically. So I'm going to rotate them back to the front. So I'm glad I waited. I don't know if some of you caught this on the last segment of the video. Maybe you saw it, maybe I didn't. Again, I'm drinking, so who knows. But as you can see, between the one on the left and on the right, the one on the right is no longer lit. It stopped. So again, then it isn't me. It is a quality issue. So again, hopefully this is not like a 1 out of 2. 1 out of every 2 is going to be defective. You know, I highly doubt that's going to be the ratio, but still, it's kind of weird. You know, I got 2 and one's not. But here, I'm going to show you what I was talking about. I'm going to flick his arm and watch. The lights will blink because I just did it. Let's hopefully it does it again. So watch this. I don't know if that's coming through, but they're flicking on and off. That pisses me off. I'm going to underexpose this shot real quick because I don't know if that flicker was coming through or not. So I'm going to bring this down, down, and down. And I'll flick it again for you, and it should come through, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Yeah, that pisses me off. But I don't know. Like I mentioned, some of you might want to return it. I don't know. But here, let me adjust this exposure back up to when you can see this figure again the way it should be. And then I'll say what I'm going to say next, because right now I cannot multitask, if you know what I mean. So yeah, anyway, hopefully that flicker came through and you saw what I was talking about. Some people are going to get really pissed off. I know Sideshow Man, I know everybody, a lot of people in those forums, you know, including me sometimes too as well. You know, there's quality issues are going to tweak you. You know, like I said, it's a pain in the ass to take these guys apart and, you know, light them up and everything. So, and like I mentioned, me personally, I'm not going to be taking them off that often and posing them with lights. I'm going to do some shots after this and put them up, and that's probably going to be about it for a while, because it's a pain in the ass, man. So for me, I don't think I'll return it. I know a lot of folks probably will over that. There are some, you know, a lot of folks out there, and if it was a certain other figure, you know, that I was absolutely, you know, I mean, I love this figure. It's good. Am I in love with it? Am I psychotic about Iron Man? No, I am not. So, I don't know. I know some people would definitely return this on that. I'm not going to. I have one that works perfectly fine, as you can see on the left, or your left. You know, so I'm good. If I want to light up the body with the other head sculpt, I can just switch heads. So again, one of the pluses of having two bodies. But I know there are a lot of folks out there, 100%, they're going to be returning theirs. And I hope this is not an issue that's widespread with Hot Toys, because with this figure, because I know there's going to be a lot of pissed off people. But again, then again, this is the Iron Man with the most light up points of any Iron Man figure. So I wouldn't be surprised. So this is the first time that Hot Toys has done this, so I wouldn't be surprised that there's going to be problems with certain ones. So again, I really hope it's not a 1 out of every 2 issue. So hopefully it's not, because I've been on the forums and in 1/6 Republic, and I haven't seen anybody some of the folks who have gotten this figure complain about it. So I don't think it's a widespread issue yet, but who knows? A few hours, many hours maybe have gone by, so who knows if people aren't really complaining about it as we speak. So let me know if you get this figure, if it gives you those issues, you know, and I would love to know. Let me know if it's widespread. So I'm going to show you the accessories real quick. They're kind of bunched up, but I'll get a higher aerial view for you guys and then show you from that, and I'll show you the base, and then we'll close out with some bullshit from me that hopefully I'm not too drunk to spit out, and then that'll be it. Okay, and here's the helmet, obviously, that comes with the figure. Get this in the naked head sculpt. That's one of the shoulder plates or trap plates that are interchangeable. This is the other one over here. As you can see, there's a segment out from the top that differentiates it from the regular one. And as we're going through these little accessories, sorry they're all bunched together, but I already started filming, I'm already talking, so it is what it is. You obviously get some interchangeable hands that are already posed. You get 2 with blasters, one's already on the figure. As you can see from my pose, you get another one, of course, for the left hand. You get some interchangeable hands where the fingers are also manipulable and articulated, like you do with previous Iron Man figures. You also get some missile compartment shots, which I have there, but you can see better right here, which is cool. I like that. It's a nice addition. I believe similar things have came with prior Iron Man figures, so it's not exactly something new, but I dig it. It looks good. It's cool. Makes for alternate posing and all that good stuff. You get the clean chest plate, obviously, because that's what comes with the figure. You get the cap mask, which is fantastic. It'll be nice to kind of pose that with him and some other things. And if you guys haven't noticed by now, I am the fucking master. when I do reviews. I'm telling you. I say more than any fucking person probably on the planet in reviews. I don't know why. Actually, I do know why. It's because I'm always thinking when I do reviews. And I tend to, when I'm speaking, I don't know, have issues, I guess, trying to think and then move the camera at the same time. It is what it is. You know, I'm slowly getting used to doing these figures, but I am the fucking master. That is for sure. I don't do it in real life when I'm talking at all, but I do it in this. So after this video, if you haven't noticed it, you will definitely notice it when you watch it again. So anyway, I'm either saying or I'm saying So I think I did better on the last video, but who knows, man. I know I said it a lot probably during this fucking video too, so it is what it is. Sorry for the profanity, but that's just me. That's who I am, and I'm drinking, so I'm probably cursing a little bit more. But anyway, I hope you got what you wanted from this video. But actually, hold on. Oh, look, I said fucking again. But anyway, let me show you the base. I didn't show you the base yet. All right, and here's the base. Really big base, and as you can see, this is a reused base, like Hot Toys likes to do. Repainted. I know this base is similar to the one that came with the Evil Superman a while back. It was a Toy Fair exclusive, I believe. I had it and I sold it a while ago, and I believe it was before that it was actually used for a Hulk figure, if I'm not mistaken. So good old Hot Toys and them reusing bases. I know this pisses a lot of people off from time to time. For the money, look, I said again. But anyway, I know this pisses people off, and for the money that we spend, you think they'd be creative and just give us a new base. But unfortunately, they don't all the time, so it is what it is. You know, I don't know what to say. Some people get really pissed off about that, the reissues on the bases, but whatever. The little piece right there is, I believe, a piece of guardrail, some kind of metal shafting or something. I believe it is. I don't know. At this point in the video and the length we're going, I'm lazy. So, as I said, I'm drinking. I'm not going to look it up. You guys can Google that. That's what Google's for. That's what Professor Google's for. And I'll give you one last look at the accessories. Again, sorry they're all bunched up over here, but I'm drinking and I'm lazy. And they're really not that magnificent or different from other things that we have gotten in the past, or not that significantly different. So, this is what you got. Be happy with it. I am, except for the quality issues, that does tweak me a little, or a lot, depending. I don't know. I'm drinking when I'm doing this, so who knows. Maybe I'll be more pissed tomorrow. Give you guys one last look. He's still lit. As you can see, the body is good on him. And I am dreading right now having to take all of these components off. Oh my God, man. to turn everything off. It's just, and as I said, man, when you're drinking, it just, you gotta piss me off even more. But whatever. That's what I do. Try to do it for folks that watch the videos. And I hope you got what you needed. I'm definitely happy. This is the definitive Iron Man from Hot Toys for me. I like it. It's very good. And if you have any questions, like I say, feel free to comment. Feel free to tell me how many times I said I remember one video, this guy commented, he was like, "Has anybody noticed this guy says a lot?" Or and I commented back and I told him the same thing that I basically said in this video, that I am the fucking master. So anyway, I'm getting better with that. Hopefully at some point I'll be able to articulate my thoughts as I'm scrolling down on the figures and whatnot and talking. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. Who knows? You know, this is what I do. I like it. So some people probably bitch and say you hate it. You know, hey, stay sober, you mother effer. Don't do the videos. Cut the shit. Just review the figure. I like to run my mouth, so it is what it is. So this is what you get, guys. Again, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching the video. Like, subscribe. Check me out on Instagram at IamToys. And you'll see some high-resolution shots of this when I finally get them up. And that's about it, I guess, man. I'm going back to drinking, so enjoy the rest of this Saturday night. Yeah, and I'll end this video with, guess what? Saying the magic word again. Let's do it one more time. Peace, folks. Deuces.